Beautiful morning to you out there. How you doing? I hope you are good. Thank you guys for your support on this channel, and thank you for tuning in to my channel. If you are new here, you are definitely welcome to my channel, where I upload sewing and quilting tutorial with pattern drafting. Welcome to the channel. You can know how to cut and sew easily. On today's tutorial, we are going to be making this dress you are looking up there. So that's what we are going to be making today. Without further ado, guys, let's hit our working table. My material is folded into two, and I folded this material by my highest measurement, which is my hip. So I have 11 inches for my hip, and I added 2 inches for my sewing allowance. This is stretch material. So I'm placing my back measurement. I have 15 inches for my back measurement, and I'm placing 7.5, as you all know. So I'm marking 7.5, and I come down 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So the wideness of my neck is 3 inches. So I'm measuring 3 inches, and I'm marking it right here. So I'm connecting my shoulder slope to 3 inches I marked. So from my shoulder slope, I'm taking 8 inches, which is the half of my round armhole. So I will connect the line to my shoulder slope, and this is what I'm marking here. So I'm placing the quarter of my bust measurement. I'm adding some inches to it because it's stretch material. I'm not adding so much allowance. So here is my half length. I have 16 inches for my half length, and I added 1 inch for the allowance. So I'm marking on 17. So this is what I'm doing. I'm marking on that point on 17. So I want to find the depth of my neck. So I chose 4 inches for the depth of my neck. So I connected it to the wideness of my neck, and I'm marking it like so. Alright guys, I'm good to cut. So I'm cutting my shoulder slope to my armhole and to the half length. So I'm cutting to the half length. Alright guys, I placed the front panel on the remaining fabric. So I'm measuring 2 inches for the back depth, 2 inches for the back depth. So I will cut that 2 inches. So later I will cut my 4 inches for the front depth. So this is what I'm doing here. So I'm cutting 2 inches. 2 inches right there. So I'm cutting my armhole and to my waist. So I'm cutting the half length. So I want to do normal princess dart. So I measure 4 inches from the shoulder slope, and I took 4 inches for my bust point measurement, and I'm marking into that 4 inches I took from my shoulder slope in my armhole area. Sorry because you cannot see this marking very well. It's the nature of material we are using. So I'm connecting from that 4 inches to the waistline. So this is what I've done. So this is 11 inches and 13.5 for the under bust. So I will just shape it from my under bust to my waist, 0.5 from the both side. That's what I'm going to cut, and I've marked it. I'm marking 0.5 from the both side, and I'm chalking it. So I'm connecting to my hammer. I'm connecting that line I made to my hammer. I measure 4 inches for my hammer. So on that point, I connected it to the waistline. So this is what I'm doing. I folded my material into two. Right here, I'm folding it into four. So I want to cut the flare now. So I will cut by the quarter of my waist measurement, which is 8 inches. So I'm marking 8 inches, and I'm placing my tape measure to check it. Maybe it's 8 inches. So it's not enough. So I'm marking another 9. So I'm checking it right here. So this is accurate measurement for the waist measurement. So I'm measuring the length for the peplum. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm measuring the length for the peplum, and I'm chalking it, and I will chalk it from that point to the end. So I'm placing my tape measure, and I'm checking it, and I'm marking it, marking 24 inches. I have 23 inches, but I will add 1 inch for the sewing allowance. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm connecting the lines I made. So I want to connect it together. So I've connected it, and I'm good to cut. I've connected it, I'm good to cut. So this is what I'm doing. I'm cutting right here. Alright guys, this is what I have. So I'm cutting the waist. So this is waist. So I've cut it, and this is what I have. So I'm going to check it. Maybe it's 32 inches. So I will place my tape measure now to check. So can you see I'm checking it right here. So we have 16 inches. So this is what we have. Alright guys, I've placed both front and back panel on the table. So I cut the facing for both of them. So I'm placing it on the table for you to see. So I'm placing the facing for you to see. So this is flare I cut. So I'm attaching the flare at the waist area. And here is the down part, both front and back down parts, the skirt area. So this is what I'm showing you. So I cut my sleeve. So this is the 2 sleeves I cut. So this is it. So I will start sewing by joining the facing. So I've joined the facing together. So I want to join the shoulder. So I want to make sure that they are aligned. The 2 shoulders are aligned. So this is what I'm doing here. So I'm placing it on my machine now, and I will start sewing. So this is what I want to do. So I'm placing it on my machine right here, and I will start sewing. So and I will sew with 0.5 from my shoulder area. This is what I want to do right here. So can you see? I'm sewing right here. So this is what I'm doing here. So all right guys, I'm measuring the bust measurements. So the remaining measurement is 2 inches, and I'm dividing it 2 inches for the both sides. I'm marking 1 inch at the other side and 1 inch at this side. So this is what I want to do. So this is what I'm doing. I'm marking the remaining inches, which is 2 inches. So I will share it to the both sides. So at my waist area, I have 32 inches, and the remaining measurement, I will divide it as well. So I have 1 inch left for the waist measurement. So since this is stretch material, I will divide it by 2, which is 0.5 for the both sides. So this is what I'm marking on my waist area. So I will connect the waist, the bust area to my waist. So I'm sewing on that point. So I'm sewing right here. So I'm sewing it to my waist. All right guys, this is time to join the peplum. So I'm placing it on my waistline. So I'm joining it with my machine right here. So I'm joining it right here with my 0.5 inch, sorry. So this is what I'm doing right here. I'm joining it. So I'm still joining it together like so. I'm joining the peplum because I want it to lap at the front, on the front. So this is what I'm doing here. It's going to lap on each other on the front panel. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm still joining it. So I'm through with joining, and this is the skirt part of it. So I'm placing it right here. So I will join the skirt part to the upper part as well. So I will start joining right here. So I will start joining. I'm joining it with my machine. So far so good. We have come to the end of today's tutorial. Can you see the peplum? It's very amazing. It's beautiful. Like this video, share and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell down there as to get notified whenever I upload my new videos. And I will see you on my next tutorial. Merry Christmas to you. Bye.